At 2:13 in the morning, Eleanor received a message from Julian. 3 words appeared on her screen. "I love you." Under different circumstances, those words might have felt comforting. But Julian had ignored her for 4 days. He had cancelled their plans without explanation. And when Eleanor finally confronted him, he did not answer her questions. He gave her affection instead. The message worked. Her anger softened. Her certainty weakened. And once again, she began questioning whether she had misunderstood him. But Julian had not said, "I love you," because love had suddenly filled him. He said it because Elena was beginning to escape his control. Some people express affection because they genuinely value you. Others express it because affection produces a result. It earns forgiveness. It protects their reputation. It secures loyalty. It keeps you emotionally available. And sometimes it stops you from discovering what they truly feel. This investigation unfolds across 6 chapters. By the end of this video, you will understand why ordinary people sometimes fake affection, when affection becomes psychological manipulation, why false love can feel more powerful than genuine love, and how to distinguish an imperfect person from someone who is merely performing love to maintain access to you. If you want to understand the hidden forces controlling human behavior, relationships, and power, subscribe to Doctrine of Mind. Because the most dangerous lie is not always spoken by the mouth. Sometimes it is performed through affection. Chapter 1. When love becomes a performance. Love has 2 separate dimensions. The first is what someone feels. The second is what someone expresses. In a healthy relationship, these 2 dimensions generally move together. A person feels concern, so they demonstrate concern. They value your well-being, so their behavior protects it. But human beings are capable of separating expression from emotion. Someone can smile without feeling happy. They can apologize without experiencing regret. They can touch you without feeling connected to you. And they can say, "I love you," without possessing the emotional reality those words are supposed to represent. Psychological researchers use the term deceptive affection to describe a mismatch between the affection a person feels and the affection they communicate. Researchers Sean Horan and Melanie Booth Butterfield asked people to record episodes of deceptive affection inside their romantic relationships. Their work showed that false affectionate messages are not exceptionally rare. People sometimes display affection they do not completely feel to avoid conflict, protect their partner's feelings, encourage affection in return, or maintain peace inside the relationship. This means one artificial compliment does not prove that someone is a calculating manipulator. A tired husband may say he enjoyed an evening because he does not want to disappoint his wife. A woman may temporarily act more affectionate while she is confused about her feelings. Someone may hide irritation because they recognize that their anger will pass. These are imperfections inside human communication. But occasional emotional restraint is different from building an entire relationship upon a false identity. Elena gradually noticed that Julian had become extraordinarily skilled at displaying the correct emotion at the correct moment. When she felt insecure, he gave reassurance. When she questioned his loyalty, he spoke about marriage. When she considered leaving, he became vulnerable. But when Eleanor needed him, when she was afraid, exhausted, or emotionally wounded, his affection disappeared. Julian understood the language of love, but he used that language primarily when it benefited him. His words created emotional intimacy. His behavior consistently avoided its responsibilities. The performance looked like love because the gestures were familiar, but gestures alone cannot reveal what someone feels. To understand affection, you must examine its purpose. Chapter 2. Why ordinary people fake affection. Not everyone who pretends to love is predatory. Some people fake affection because they are frightened. They fear confrontation. They fear loneliness. They fear being judged. And sometimes they fear admitting that their feelings have changed. Psychologist Tim Cole examined deception within romantic relationships and found connections with attachment insecurity, fear of intimacy, lower commitment, and fear of abandonment. This reveals two very different psychological pathways into false affection. The first belongs to the emotionally avoidant person. They want the security of having someone, but they feel threatened by genuine intimacy. They may express enough love to preserve the relationship while withholding the vulnerability required to deepen it. They want closeness, but only at a distance they can control. The second pathway belongs to the anxiously attached person. They may exaggerate affection because they are terrified of being abandoned. Their affection is not necessarily created to exploit someone. It may be an attempt to make themselves impossible to leave. One person manufactures love to preserve independence. Another manufactures love to prevent separation. The behavior may look similar, but the psychological motive is different. Other people remain inside relationships because leaving would be inconvenient. They may fear losing financial stability, social status, companionship, or the identity of being someone's partner. They continue performing affection because honesty would force them to make a decision. Instead of saying, "I no longer love you," they reduce love to a routine. They kiss without presence. They speak without emotional investment. They remain physically available while becoming psychologically absent. This is not always calculated cruelty. Sometimes it is cowardice. They do not want the relationship, but they also do not want the consequences of ending it. Elena initially explained Julian's behavior this way. Perhaps he was emotionally wounded. Perhaps he had difficulty communicating. Perhaps he had never experienced healthy love. These explanations may have contained some truth, but an explanation does not erase the consequences of a repeated behavior. Understanding why someone hurts you does not make the damage harmless. A person may fake affection because they are afraid of abandonment. But if that affection repeatedly traps another person inside a relationship that does not truly exist, fear has become deception. The motive may explain the mask. It does not transform the mask into a face. Chapter 3. When affection becomes currency. The darkest form of false affection is transactional. The person is not primarily attached to you, they are attached to what access to you provides. Money, status, sex, protection, attention, housing, social connections, emotional labor, or the reassurance of knowing that someone remains available whenever they feel empty. In such relationships, affection functions like currency. It is spent when the person wants something and withheld when they no longer need your cooperation. Julian's affection followed this pattern. Before asking Eleanor for financial help, he became attentive. Before attending an important social gathering with her, he behaved like the perfect partner. After being caught in a lie, he suddenly remembered every promise he had neglected. But once he received forgiveness, his effort disappeared. The cycle was not random. Affection arrived before benefit and after consequence. It rarely appeared during ordinary moments when nothing was being negotiated. Research concerning Machiavellianism, narcissism, and psychopathic traits has connected darker personality characteristics with exploitative mating strategies and aggressive forms of partner retention. That does not mean every selfish partner possesses a personality disorder. Psychological traits exist on a spectrum, and diagnosis cannot be made by watching a few behaviors. The important issue is the strategy. A strategically affectionate person studies what makes you feel valued. They discover the words you wanted to hear as a child. They learn your deepest fears. They notice what kind of future you desire. Then they reflect those desires back to you. You believe that you have finally met someone who understands you. but sometimes they understand you only because understanding makes you easier to influence. Carl Jung used the concept of the persona to describe the social face people present to the world. Every person has a persona. Social life requires it, but a dangerous individual may turn the persona into psychological camouflage. They do not simply show the most socially acceptable part of themselves. They construct an identity specifically designed to enter your emotional world. They become what you are searching for. Not because they share your values, but because your values reveal the shape of the key required to unlock you. The mask is rarely perfect forever. It begins slipping after access has been secured. Promises become excuses. Curiosity becomes indifference. Respect becomes entitlement. The person who once seemed fascinated by your mind now becomes irritated whenever you express it. You did not suddenly become less valuable. They simply stopped paying the emotional price that access to you once required. Chapter 4. The Affection Withdrawal Cycle. Elena eventually attempted to leave. That was when Julian became the person she had been waiting for. He arrived at her apartment with flowers. He admitted that he had neglected her. He described a future in which everything would change. For several weeks, he became attentive again. Elena interpreted this transformation as evidence that his love had survived beneath the surface. But his affection had returned precisely when his access was threatened. Once Elena recommitted, the warmth slowly disappeared. This pattern can create a powerful psychological cycle. Affection, withdrawal, confusion, confrontation, reconciliation, then withdrawal again. Research by Neil Caton and Sean Horan suggests that deceptive affectionate messages can function as mate retention behavior, particularly when someone believes they might lose their partner. This does not prove that every dramatic reconciliation is false. People sometimes recognize their failures and genuinely change. The distinction is found in what happens after the crisis ends. A sincere person changes their pattern. A manipulative person changes their performance. Real accountability survives after forgiveness. False accountability lasts only until the threat of consequences disappears. Inside the affection withdrawal cycle, the victim becomes increasingly focused on restoring the loving version of the person. They analyze every conversation. They adjust their behavior. They become quieter, more patient, and more forgiving. They believe that if they discover the correct combination of words, the affection will return permanently. But the affection is powerful precisely because it is inconsistent. Predictable warmth creates security. Unpredictable warmth creates pursuit. When affection is repeatedly removed and restored, emotional relief can feel like intimacy. The nervous system begins associating the person not only with pain, but also with the temporary end of that pain. The person creates the wound. Then they present themselves as the medicine. This is why Elena felt closest to Julian immediately after their worst conflicts. She was not experiencing deeper intimacy. She was experiencing relief, and relief can become one of love's most convincing counterfeits. Chapter 5. Why false love feels so convincing. People often ask how an intelligent person can believe false affection. But intelligence does not remove emotional need. Sometimes it simply creates more sophisticated explanations for behavior the heart is not ready to confront. Elena possessed evidence that Julian's affection was unreliable, but she also possessed memories. She remembered their first conversations. She remembered how carefully he had listened. She remembered the man who appeared whenever she was about to leave. Her mind treated these moments as proof of his true self. His coldness became temporary, his affection became authentic. But what if both versions were real? What if the loving version was not his hidden identity, but simply the version he produced when affection was useful? Human beings often judge relationships according to their most emotionally intense moments. But intensity is not the same as intimacy. Intensity can be created through uncertainty, jealousy, conflict, and reunion. Intimacy is created through honesty, safety, consistency, and mutual responsibility. Intensity makes you feel consumed. Intimacy allows you to feel known. The sunk cost effect can also keep someone attached to false affection. After investing years, money, sacrifice, and emotional energy into a relationship, leaving can feel like admitting that everything was wasted. So the person invests more. They do not stay because the relationship is improving. They stay because abandoning it would force them to grieve the past and surrender the imagined future. Hope becomes a psychological contract. The victim keeps paying, the manipulator keeps promising. This is also why false affection can feel more addictive than stable love. Healthy affection is usually calm. It does not continuously force you to question whether you are wanted, but someone conditioned by emotional inconsistency may interpret calm love as boring and unpredictable love as passion. Their nervous system has learned to confuse anxiety with connection. They do not only miss the person, they miss the possibility of finally being chosen by the person who repeatedly rejected them. The relationship becomes a private trial. If they can make the distant person love them consistently, perhaps it will prove they were worthy all along. But genuine love does not require you to earn basic emotional safety. Chapter 6. The difference between love and access. Eventually, Elena stopped asking Julian whether he loved her. She began asking a different question. What does his love repeatedly produce? Did it create trust? Did it create safety? Did it allow honesty? Did it respect her boundaries? Or did it produce confusion, dependency, and fear? Words reveal what someone wants you to believe. Patterns reveal what they are prepared to sustain. If you are uncertain whether someone's affection is genuine, observe what happens when you become inconvenient. Can they remain respectful when you disagree? Can they accept the word no without punishing you? Do they care about your pain when solving it offers them no advantage? Does their apology create lasting behavioral change? Do they support your independence? Or does their affection disappear whenever they cannot control your decisions? Most importantly, observe whether their affection survives after they obtain what they wanted. False affection is often strongest before access is granted and immediately after access is threatened. Genuine love does not need to be perfect. People become distracted, they make mistakes, they occasionally fail to communicate what they feel, but genuine love contains responsibility. Erich Fromm argued that mature love involves care, respect, responsibility, and knowledge. It is not merely an emotional event. It is a way of treating another human being. A person may experience powerful feelings for you and still refuse to respect you. They may desire you without caring for you. They may fear losing you without valuing your freedom. Possession is not love. Dependency is not love. Jealousy is not proof of love. And someone's desperation when you leave cannot erase their indifference while you stayed. The most reliable evidence of love is not found in emotional declarations. It is found in repeated choices made when there is no audience, no immediate reward, and no threat of losing control. Elena never received a complete confession from Julian. He never admitted that he had used affection strategically. He continued insisting that he loved her. But eventually, Elena understood that she did not need his confession to trust what the pattern had already revealed. Perhaps some of his feelings had been real. Perhaps Julian had loved her in the only way he knew. But love that repeatedly destroys your ability to trust yourself cannot be excused simply because the person occasionally feels something powerful. Throughout this investigation, you have learned that false affection can emerge from fear, attachment insecurity, conflict avoidance, emotional cowardice, or deliberate exploitation. You have learned why inconsistent affection can feel more intense than stable love, why intelligent people remain attached to it, and how to separate an imperfect expression of love from a calculated performance designed to preserve access and control. The final distinction is simple. Someone who genuinely loves you may sometimes fail to express it perfectly, but someone who merely wants access to you will become most loving whenever that access is in danger. Do not judge love only by what someone says when you are leaving. Judge it by how they consistently treated you when they believed you would stay. Subscribe to Doctrine of Mind for more investigations into the hidden psychology behind human behavior, power, and relationships. Because real love does not need to keep you confused in order to keep you close.